Okay, I'm recording a little more, closing up, making a few videos today, but as I was talking about the unicorn's horn on born again Christians, what they look like, this is, I'm gonna try to get it real close. You can see on their heads the unicorn's horns. That is, again, what Christian angels look like with the unicorn's horns on their head. This is incredibly beautiful to me. So that's why I visited Thailand. This is a show called Siam Niramat in Thailand, Bangkok, and Phuket do this show. And so you can see this is kind of crazy talk in the West, but in the East, Thailand's a land of Mahayana Buddhists, monks a lot, and you can see that they have the reality of the understanding of the scriptures, the reality of the situation, versus they're not very much big on words, they just show it, the kingdom of heaven is one of power, not of words. Haven't heard that from John the Baptist and Christ. And again, here's another one. Who would that be? This is the old king in Thailand walking. What does that look like? Again, the unicorn's horn symbolized anyway. They don't do it exactly as it is, but at the end of Siam Niramat, they do. At the end of the show, the two come down dressed in angels' costumes with the unicorn's horn, exactly as it is. Sometimes they decorate it with jewels and everything. No, it's the unicorn's horn. Fibonacci sequence spiraling up above the astral body, or on the astral body. That's a gift of power given via Mark 16:16, saved and baptized in the name of Christ. That's a gift of power. That was given, but there's more to Christianity than that. The Thunderstanding is how it ends. So Christ really wanted to spread Thunderstanding. Started with the sons of thunder after the rumbling, thundering home in the background. That's why they were called the sons of thunder. Christ showed them Yahweh, the sun, rumbling, thundering, primordial sound from the beginning. That is before anything was. Okay, and here, I never saw this. I was doing these, my headstands 3 hours in a day, as much as I could. But this is a picture on a Buddhist documentary. I suppose that's supposed to be the Buddha. It doesn't look like it though, but at any rate, it was on a PBS Buddhist documentary showing the austere training of the Buddha. They say it wasn't necessary. Yeah, it was. What they're saying now, 2,000 some years later, you could see it was part of his training. There's a Buddha with his legs using a tree branch. That's excessively hard, doing it that way. The way I showed you with the cloth is a lot easier. If you get to where you could do it, where you could just watch TV and do it. And that would pretty much do it. Watch TV 40 hours a week or something like that, 36 hours. There's another picture of the Buddha upside down. So he had that training. I know he did. 3 hours a day, that ancient teaching, 3 hours a day in the headstand, and will surely lead to enlightenment, or will surely lead to thunderstanding, which is not understanding, it's beyond understanding, outside of the time and space. And this is what you'll see the airport in Thailand, a picture like this. Again, not exactly the unicorn's horns, but you know that they have that understanding. Like I say, the unicorn's horns is an astral world phenomenon. They've gone bad in modern times, throughout time. They've gone bad, they're getting vicious. And peace has metaphysical properties. Heavenly peace can be seen visibly, metaphysically. And that's what it looks like. I'm just closing, just reminding you that the peacemakers are the children of God. Blessed are the peacemakers, they shall be called the children of God. The born-again Christian angels are, they're blessed with the unicorn's horn and all that. That's very, at least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than us, okay? So it's going to get a lot better than this, indescribably better, or beyond what we can even imagine. But children of light, that's the born-again Christian angels. The peacemakers are the meditators. The children of light will reject the meditation. Primarily, they reject it. The meditators are higher. The peacemakers are higher. I know your Holy Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, it says love is the greatest. No, it's not. Peace is greater than love. Peace, the primordial peace, exists outside of space and time, non-dualistically, whereas love, you're in form, you're in space and time, you're in duality. Peace is actually higher in the end. So meditation produces a better resurrection than just being a born-again Christian. Of course, being a born-again Christian and meditating is very good, very good. Because they're becoming vicious, those angels. Said St. Augustine's dialogues on the celestial lighter. Kill, rob, and destroy now in the name of Christ. They turned Christ into a killer. They're gone bad. It's not a desirable resurrection to me at all. So I have my resurrection, they have theirs, but mine, I can go into motion of formlessness at will. But they can't. They don't even know it exists, the born-again Christians. So they still have a lot of growing up to do, but as angels go. But they're being pawned off, If you just get the Catholics and confine them to Rome, that's where all this violence is coming from. They were started as a military order. The very day they're started, and this name conquer, and this sign conquer, the sign of the cross, the headstand prop, turned into a sword. They're just nuts, and their resurrections are very crappy. We have bodies of light in us, and how we live, we are angels, or we resurrect that into angelhood. Some that's could be good, it could be bad, it could be angels in hell, angels in heaven. Christ get your foot in the door, but he was teaching Thunderstanding, not Christ the killer, like the Catholics are. Not Christ Christ came not to kill, rob, and destroy. Well, they twisted everything around. They took the holy and turned it around into a weapon and inverted everything. It's one thing, even in self-defense, they're not even acting in self-defense. They were forced to kill, conquer, destroy, and they kill the higher levels all the time, and they've got to be quarantined. The international community has to declare them a disease, a terrorist organization, and put them, bound them into Rome, where it came from, just leave them, because you've been brainwashed thinking you're an American. You're living in the United States of Rome. Look at the White House, look at the Vatican, kind of look similar. That's the military headquarters of the Vatican, and London is their financial headquarters. Thunderstanding as Christ really taught. I just showed you at the Buddha. You see the Buddha practicing it. I wish I had a video like this to watch when I was about, say, 14, 13. Somebody that would come across and said, I will show you God. Well, God is commonly called, to experience God. It's just a rumbling thunder. This is how you go into that state of consciousness. You don't look for God or outside of ourselves, because we have to go into the state of super consciousness, which is this experience of soul, the being of the human, not the human, and go into the formless state of consciousness as a disembodied spirit. I have no shape or form. I am dead, and yet I'm born. So I wish I had this video when I was young, but this is for future generations. That's why I put it for kids. I tried to refrain from any hardcore negative talk, but it's for future generations, because the generations of our day and age are gone. Astronomical numbers of these people that we're living with are just going to end up in hell. I've seen it, not in this body. Astral body, hell's in the astral world. And meditation, there's metaphysical properties that also, on a higher level, immunize you from hell. But Christ's gift of power was basic. The unicorn, they see the unicorn's horn. Wrath of God passes over the tormentors. Leave them alone, but they're getting to the point, it's going to reach a breaking point with all the guilty blood of the Catholics. That's why I say there's a good book called Why I Am a Member of the Church of Christ. And, but actually I've just gone pretty much totally with the meditation, because it's dealing with the next higher heaven. The kingdom of Buddha is in the ethereal world. The kingdom of Christ is in the astral world. The ethereal world is higher. It doesn't matter if you want to hear it or you don't. That's the reality of the situation. But at any rate, like I say, I wish this is my contribution that I'm leaving for the future. People who are seeking God really have to seek the state of super consciousness within themselves to reach that, because we're immersed in God here, there, and everywhere, within and without us. But that state of consciousness that this ancient teaching leads us to, one who practices the headstand 3 hours a day will surely attain enlightenment or experience home. It's describing and talking about what's beyond speech. That's why I label it thunderstanding versus understanding. You can't understand the speech that we're really having. You can't really understand it. It's for thunderstanding. You'll kill yourselves trying to understand it. You're going to end up like these people walking around the street bottle of wine and babbling incoherently to people, trying to understand this speech. That's what you're going to end up like. Trying to make this magic potion so that they could understand my speech. You can't understand it. You can only experience it. Thunderstanding. You're not going to experience it by creating some magic potion, some drugs or whatever. And you can't get higher than the high that you have as you go into home. Anyway, so you're wasting your time with all your dope. And so, as I say again, I hope you have a great eternity. But the metaphysical properties of meditation is for hell is because you realize that knowing absolute reality, the absolute soul-home reality, you know that all the other reality is, it's, to say it's not real, I don't like to say that. To say it's temporary, or to say that you, as a self-reflecting, inside a self-reflecting bubble of perception, hell exists inside a self-reflecting bubble of perception too. The tormentors take the feelings, the sensations you still have instinctively as a human, and use them to torment you in hell. And when you reach absolute reality, you are outside of space and time, outside of the self-reflecting bubble of perception, outside of the self-reflecting bubble of perception that exists both in humans and in the angelic realm. Angels are still inside a self-reflecting bubble of perception. They haven't reached absolute reality. Gods are different. That's the difference between angels and gods. The gods know home, whereas the angels do not. Angels will know God as the divine white living light, the angels in heaven. The gods, on the other hand, will know God as absolute reality, the rumbling, thundering God has no shape or form. That can only be experienced via your soul, which has no shape or form. And the king, that's what this teaching, the headstand, is called, the king. The king will show you this. So, long live the king, and this is the king of any human king. Like I said, this is the king of the human form, because this is the king that shows you what exists outside being human as the human form. It shows you the being side of human being. The being side was there before you were born, except after you die. This human side is temporary. So I don't like to say it's not real, I just like to say it's temporary. And the being side of us, the human being side of it, the being side is the eternal side. And that's our living souls, which the king will show you that you're a living soul. And that's how you experience Thunderstanding. At any rate, that's about all I had to say. Introduction, home, body, variations of home, conclusion, home. But that's a reality. Sound beyond the ears. That's out there, but we have to tune in by hitting the God gear. God gear, opening the crown chakra. That's what the king will do for you. So long live the king. The king is great, not me, or us, or the angels, or archangels, or gods, or demigods. Om is far greater than all that. And the Om beings don't want to even be gods or demigods. They don't want to come out of that formlessness to be human, either physically or celestial, in the physical celestial world. They don't like this. They see rubber room. That's what they see us as. That's why the Buddha said life is suffering. But Om is alive, and we are living souls. Om is living, therefore we are living. Our soul is living. That is outside of human form. So that's where the Om beings rest in peace, and they're in peace. And that's why peace is greater than love. It's actually, it exists outside of space and time, and non-duality. Peace does. And then, of course, love is great and all, but that's about all I have to say. Om Tat Sat to you, and Namaste in the East, and I hope your search for God goes inside and you have success reaching this state of super consciousness and learn to experience Om. And you will say that in 3 simple words like Swami Vivekananda, Om is God. And this was my vanity and vexation of spirit, like Swami Sivananda says, even teaching. You have to come out of being an Om being. It too is vanity and vexation of spirit. It's the highest you can do, benefiting others, but it too is vanity and vexation of spirit, existing in space and time, existing inside of our self-reflecting bubble of perception, collectively and individually. That bubble of perception collectively and individually. So this teaching will get you outside of this self-reflecting bubble of perception, beyond sensorial experience, 5, 6 senses. And I hope you have success. And I hope you have great eternity. And that's all, folks.